So thanks for coming in, mate. Good to see you.
Yeah, looking forward to this.
It's been a while.
It has.
I saw you the other day at the awards when you were up there talking.
Yeah.
It's, when you're in a room of people like that, you never
a
get
lot of people there. Yeah, that was a great night.
I stuck to my table and
That was a
didn't
great
go
night.
very
It was a
far.
great night. Yeah,
It was. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
fun.
I almost messaged you to say, bring the Porsche. I want to see you.
Yeah, exactly. Next time.
I want to see this thing.
For sure, yeah.
I saw on your Instagram the other day that someone pulled you up at a server.
Yeah, at the petrol station. Yeah, some guys just like a camera. Yeah.
How good is
That's
that?
cool.
Do you get that very often?
Every once in a while, I get a lot of photos. Yeah.
It's funny because it's an enthusiast car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What year model is it?
84.
It's the 84 911.
4-year 911 Carrera 3.2.
Yeah.
4-year restoration.
Wow.
It's almost perfect. A few more bugs left over, but yeah.
They're never, there's always a little.
There's always 40 years old, a few
Yeah.
parts aren't quite changed yet. But
It's funny. I grew up with, my dad was always a Porsche guy. He had a 944, the poor man's 911. Yeah. Although the 944, an incredible car.
Yeah.
And so he had that when I was growing up. So I've always loved them. But every time I see an older 911, I'm like a kid in a candy store. And my wife's like, there, I
know they don't get it. I know.
They don't
really get it.
Yeah, it's an enthusiast car.
Those are V8s, right? 944. Those are big engines, aren't they?
I think there was a turbo 6 and a naturally aspirated 6, I think.
Okay, I see.
And it's an era of cars that'll just never be the same again. You must feel it when you drive that thing.
You do. You just like
time machine.
Exactly. That's how it feels like the 80s,
Yeah.
Got the Phil Collins music on, driving around.
So that would have been the car you, I guess, grew up with, right?
Yeah,
It would have been
that
you
was
when
a
you were
poster
growing up.
on the wall.
Yeah.
That was a supercar,
Yeah,
back then.
Yeah.
And it feels like it now.
Yeah, I bet. And so that was that always a goal?
That was the goal, yeah. And then during COVID, when everything shut down, I saw one on car sales. I was like, oh my God, exactly what I want, but it was all beaten up. And I was like, I'll just get it and see what I do. And then I was like, one stage at a time, rolling restoration, and next thing you know, it's a beauty.
So did you have to figure it out piece by piece? Like you buy these cars.
I wasn't even a car guy. I wasn't even a mechanic, but I just found a few mechanics. They told me, here's the plan. We're going to do the engine first, then the brakes second, suspension second. They'll charge me each month versus all at once. I couldn't afford it. We just rolled it over time. Electrical, brakes, all the interiors all custom, which is beautiful. Yeah.
I think the beauty of something like a Porsche is a Porsche mechanic is going to be a Porsche guy, and they're going to be trustworthy because they're doing it for the love of the brand.
Yes.
They're not doing it to
They want to keep it running. They love it. They're enthusiasts as well.
Yeah, like they can't
the
wait.
current guy's like, hey, you're the favorite car. Bring it anytime you want. We love working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you go buy a Lambo and take it to a shop, they're just going to charge you as much as they can. Get it in, get it out. No one cares.
Exactly.
Whereas, the Porsche is like, my uncle had a 911 for a while, actually.
Oh, really?
It would have been late 80s, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And but he didn't restore it. He bought it and had just endless problems.
That's what happens. It breaks down, honestly.
Yeah. But, any car of that age, no matter how well you restore it, it's old technology.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The bearings, all the rings are all old plastic,
Yeah. Was there anything that was really hard to find, or is it a famous enough
all the
car?
parts available, actually, for all the classic cars to Porsche. But the hardest part was electrical. It's really complicated because it was converted from left to right-hand drive from Japan. Yeah. So it was German delivered, went to Japan, then converted over here. Wow. I got a bit of a mess, so I had to clean everything up.
So I've got a Japanese car, right? An R35 GTR, and it's got a blown motor at the moment, and it has for a year. The motor's out. It's sitting in the garage with no heart. And I talking about the Japanese cars and electronics, I've got all these weird things in there that I've always thought maybe was something they had to have in Japan, like for road tolls or whatever. And the other day I finally pulled everything apart because I got bored. And there was like a kilo of wiring that was just random shit.
Really?
Into the car.
You'd be amazed what's inside there, huh?
Weird GPS trackers and not VHS, what do they call them? Anyway, it's like, to plug a movie into the factory screen.
Okay.
All these little 4-channel things.
I see.
Because in Japan, you can watch TV on them as well.
Really?
So there's all these things to get extra channels and all this weird stuff. And I was like, it was actually causing a problem. I've got air ride suspension here to get over speed bumps and stuff.
I see.
And I just got it redone. And every time I'd use the button to go up and down, it would throw a fuse. And so that's what it started as, is chasing that fuse blowing, and ended up with this kilo of wiring. I've got a photo dangling in front of the car.
Surprise.
It's like a heart surgery.
I know. There's so much history in those cars.
So, but you get to enjoy it now. It's finished.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
You drive it very
I take it out maybe twice a week.
Oh, yeah.
Just to go think, and just turn the music on. My wife's like, where are you going? To drive. But where are you going? No, to drive. That's the whole joy of it, is to drive. It's my think tank,
Yeah. Yeah, I love going out to the Blue Mountains and stuff, windows down, just and the noise of that motor.
Correct. Yeah, that jet stream, yeah.
I've got a newer Porsche that I'm driving today, actually.
Oh, really?
Now that I've got my license back.
Okay.
And it's my wife's car, actually. But she's away, so I'm like pinching her car.
What is it?
And the new Macan GTS is the last one before they went to electric. But I don't think they're going to electric anymore or hybrid, whatever. They're going back. Thank God. It's an unbelievable car.
Really?
Unbelievable. The handling on it. When I bought it.
Notice SUV, right?
You wouldn't believe it. When I bought it, the dealership guys at Parramatta even said to me, this is the closest thing to a 911 that's not a 911.
Incredible. Because
you
it's
would
like
think
a box.
Yeah.
Really?
So I've lowered it and tightened the suspension up a bit and stuff. Shouldn't have done that because, Porsche will kill me. But the handling on it is like, it's incredible.
Really? Like you just feel that road.
You put everything in sports mode and it's the top end of the first model, right? The Macan's the lowest model in Porsche.
I see.
But it's the top of the range of that. So it's still got, all the driving modes and everything. It's unreal. But I mean, for their base car, you're still paying 180 grand or something.
Of course.
So it's
got the
everything. Yeah, it's got the little dial like the 911s have, and they've got a push to pass button. I don't know if you've seen them. It's basically if you're cruising along in like a normal driving mode, you hit this button and it starts a timer. And for 30 seconds, I think it's 20 or 30 seconds, it puts everything in full race mode.
Just to pass
Just to like pass somebody off. So it's like cool. One button and the car lowers and kicks back a gear and goes into sport mode and it just takes off.
Oh,
it's so much fun.
That is fun.
But for someone who just lost their license,
right.
I'd probably stay away from that button.
Correct.
Yeah. So other than cars, business is probably your hobby. You've been doing coaching and stuff for as long
25 years.
Oh, yeah.
2 decades.
Wow, 25 years.
Yeah,
you became a father while coaching. You moved countries while coaching.
Yes,
because you had
the U.S. to Australia 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And my wife on a dating site.
Yeah. Here or there?
No, over there. She's from City. We met in Los Angeles. Actually met over there.
Oh, okay.
So we dated over there, and then she worked for a cruise line. And she's like, come visit Australia. I said, it's so far. Us Americans are pretty limited in our thinking too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll come out. And I was like, wow, it's amazing here. Beautiful. So we ended up getting engaged here, got married here, and then we moved here. We had our first son, Toby, who has Down syndrome. And to give him a better life, more support, brought him over here. And ever since we've been here for that 2 decades,
Did you write a book about Toby?
I did, called Lessons from Toby.
I have that book.
Yeah. That was when he was 4 years old. He's now 22.
Yeah.
We'll be 22 soon. But he's an inspiration for the company. And our lives as well. He's very, if you know him on his downs, they're very loving, warm, cuddly, transparent. Every principle that we teach people to do and not do sales, but to be trustworthy. So he's kind of our inspiration.
Yeah, he's the poster
superhero. Yeah.
I think one of the things that's positive that's come from social media is actually that social media influencers are now in such a range. Like to be famous before, you had to be this perfect Hollywood personality. Like that looked perfect and had no blemishes. And speaking of Down syndrome, there's heaps of influencers now, even on Instagram. There's a guy I follow, Clayton, the chicken burger guy.
Really?
Stitches me up. He's got a chicken burger van and his brothers and stuff, on social media with him.
So
it's
cool.
Like, it's just bringing a whole new light to, because I'm sure you felt it, but when Toby was born 22 years ago, the thought process to the average person on Down syndrome would have been completely
different. Very narrow thinking.
It was almost like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. What happened? Are you okay?
And then I get it.
It's a gift. Yeah. He's a gift. He's gorgeous. Yeah.
They're born a comedian.
Exactly.
And so, look, I think that's one of the things that social media's really changed because it's brought this whole new industry of people actually just being themselves.
Being exposed.
And if you, for me, I follow a few people with Down syndrome and they're like the funniest people.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see them.
But you're right. They're caring. They're all the good things you want to have.
They're transparent. They're authentic.
They're just them.
Correct.
But I think society made people with any kind of
difference,
disability, feel like they were different.
Correct.
For a bad reason.
Yes.
It's so not the case anymore.
No, it's uniqueness.
Yeah. A friend of mine, I was talking to the other day, he's got a son with autism. And he was saying it changed his business because he felt like he's now working for 2 generations.
Wow.
Instead of just himself.
Interesting.
And when he said that, I thought, that's really powerful. But what it made me think is actually, as a parent, we should all be thinking that way. Right. We don't know what's going to happen to our kids. They might be even healthy right now, but what could change?
Yes.
And I think
that all the time about a legacy business, what beyond us, lives beyond us, an evergreen company. That's what I always think about, how to build a business that lives forever.
So how do you build a business that lives forever when you're the face of it?
Well, I've been working on that.
I've
got some ideas around that.
Yeah.
And one is replicating myself. Yeah. I've got 3 or 4 coaches now who are what I call mini Aris.
Oh, good.
So they do everything that I would do. Take all the leads and work with the clients. Yeah. I've also digitized my mind and called AriAI.
I've got a great story for you about that. You're going to love it.
Oh, I want to hear this in a second. Yeah. So it's like all my body work into a private AI system. And it's got my voice and my likeness. It's me live talking to me from your phone whenever you want to get coaching, We write emails, trust-based perspective. So it's super, super smart. So I've got two components that I have to replicate myself. So one day I go, the mind will at least live forever, but the body may not, but the mind will.
There's going to be robots by then anyway. They'll take AriAI, put him in a robot.
There you go.
And he'll be walking and talking.
Exactly.
So I was at the Couple Awards the other night and I was sitting at the table and I can't remember the name of the guy I was next to, but you would know him if I said it. And I hadn't heard of AriAI yet, but I saw it up on the list of sponsors. And I went, oh, there's an AI business on there. I haven't heard of that one before. And I can't remember if he said it or I said it, but I thought, oh, it's another AI app, like one of those comments. But then the guy goes to me, oh, no, that's Ari Galper's. And I was like, oh, it must be good. It's the trusting. Like,
exactly.
He's good. So this app must be
trust-based, yeah.
And he actually said to me, he goes, I did some of Ari's courses like decades ago. And he goes, it's always been really good stuff. And he said, he goes, when the app came out, I wanted to see what it was about. So he downloaded it and used it. And he goes, I took 3 cold sales that weren't responding to me. 2, put him in and asked him what to do about it. And he closed both of them.
Wow. Great success story. I didn't even know this. That's great.
I'll have to remember who it was to tell you that.
Great.
He's a Cub member.
Sure.
And he was like, honestly, it was like, it really made a difference. It made me think of what to do at the next stage, and something different. But it's this way of doing business we've never had before where you can take everything that's already happened and plug it into something.
Yes.
You used to have to sit in a boardroom and go, I've tried this, I've tried that. Everyone give me your ideas.
Right.
But then you got 10 people telling you their ideas and everyone's got a different idea.
Same one.
We've got to agree on something.
Correct.
Whereas this is like, I've weighed up everything, try this.
Correct.
Unreal. So what made you think of that?
I kept all my information private on the cloud for years. I never made it public. Every other guru, expert put everything online for free. I just never did it.
Yeah.
Because, I'm going to keep it. I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. Then AI comes around. I'm like, oh, perfect. I create my own digital mind. My own container is private, does not go to the public. Clients log in now and they literally talk and say, here's my situation. Here's where I'm stuck. What would you do? So it's like me on steroid telling them, here's how you do it. Here's what you say. Here's the next move. Here's the email. Don't follow up. Use the word feedback instead. So it changes their mindset and teaches them, but at the same time is new things to go do to get that closed deal coming in. So shortened sales cycles, and it's been really revolutionary for a lot of people.
I didn't realize now in ChatGPT, I'm not that big in AI in that type of way. And so I didn't realize when you subscribe now, you can actually talk to it like a phone.
Yeah, there's a voice.
Yeah, so I did that the other day. I apparently I talked for it too long because it goes to me, you've used all your minutes for the day.
Oh, right.
It was like an hour and a half. I was talking to this
charged
thing.
by minutes. We're unlimited for a month.
I was on a long drive and I thought I'm just going to throw ideas at this thing. And the way, since doing that, since kind of doing a bit of a brain dump into it, now I jump back in and ask it something and its response is way better than it used to be.
Because it remembers, right?
Yeah, it remembers.
Exactly.
And that's when I kind of realized the power of what you were doing with something like that. This was only a couple of days ago.
The other day I was giving a friend of mine a demo and we were talking and I left it on by accident and all of a sudden it says, Ari, hold on a minute, let him speak. Like, what the? Where's that? It was on listening. We were living a 3-way conversation.
Yeah, wow.
It was amazing. It understands who's speaking and gave him more advice. It was brilliant.
It's funny you say that because when I used this thing, I was thinking, I wonder if I could put that in one of our team meetings and let it absorb everything that's been spoken
Correct.
about.
Smart.
And then tell us what it thinks.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is all the stuff that's going to be...
The third brain in your business. The third brain. Exactly.
Yeah, well, everyone's transcribing now with a tool they're inviting into Zooms and things like that. Right. But how long until that becomes the brain?
Exactly.
We're just the barrier between the customer and AI now.
Exactly.
We're just there, the human feedback, the human puppet. Yeah.
Exactly. Eventually be AI to AI.
Yeah.
And then what?
And so the trust-based selling's, I guess, you're the entire premise of what you go off, right?
Correct. The whole idea is to focus on the truth, not the sale.
Mm. And I think, tell me if I've read it wrong, but the easiest sales are always referrals. Everyone knows that, right? Because there's a transfer of trust.
Of course.
And that's what you're trying to kind of commercialize or systemize, right?
Yeah, for someone who doesn't know you.
Yeah.
Like referrals are great, but they're random. You can't forecast it, and they come whenever they come. So the nice when they come, the bluebirds, right? But the ones that are new who don't know you, who are shopping you, you have to redirect the conversation for them to trust you. Yeah. That's more of a doctor-patient conversation versus selling. Yeah,
I had 2 referrals this week that closed one meeting.
Beautiful.
1 hour.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were one of them was a very large deal. And it was just like, this guy said whatever you said's true. So you've said that, you can do it. Here you go.
Trust got passed along.
Yeah. But it is very hard to create a system around that.
Correct.
But that's what you spent your life doing.
That's what I spent 2 decades too, because people right now struggle because they're being shopped in a commoditized market. You're
More
being
than ever.
compared to somebody else. So they're, how much you charge? Why should I go with you? You do free consulting, give them free education, and they want to go think about it. And they go shop someplace else. You're like, what? This has all been reversed. So we're reversing it back to a different way of thinking about this, where you're, like I said, you're the authority. They're someone who wants to learn from you, but you're the doctor, they're the patient. So our model is diagnostic-based, problem-centric, not solution-centric. So when you go see a doctor, what's the first thing he says to you? Where does it hurt? Doesn't tell you, let's have lunch first. Hey, you got nice to get to know you.
I've got a medicine on sale. I want to sell you. Yeah.
The pharmacist is the medicine, not the doctor. A lot of us are the pharmacist and the doctor all in one.
Yeah.
We got to give information. We got to ask some questions. We got to and then it gets too confusing for the other person.
Yeah.
So we separate the roles.
When you get to the medicine.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. You prescribe and you diagnose. Then you provide the solution, but not all of it in the beginning.
In the same meeting.
That's where everybody messes up. They keep talking and talking about their business, and here's not going to help you. It's like, wait, stop, too early. First get to the problem at a deep level.
I have found I overtalk sometimes. That was something I work on a lot because I'm a storyteller, right?
Sure.
If I know I can genuinely help someone, I just want to give them 20 stories about how I've done it before. But 20 is too many. Pick a couple, you got to know when to reel it in.
I know. Yeah. The more they talk, they feel like they're being sold. That's the thing. The less you talk, the more they can trust you because you're a good listener. So the skill is listening, not talking. That's hard for people who love to talk because they want to get it out. They want to connect. Have rapport, have chemistry, become their friend. But that's a peer relationship. To be an authority, you have to listen. When you talk, you're a peer. Then you're in trouble. You have to be subservient to them. So that's the whole mindset shift, is to really redirect the conversation so that you're diagnosing their problem at a very deep level.
So if you look at a sales cycle and start with lead generation, are you doing that differently then? Because I'm assuming you can't do this on an Instagram ad.
Well, the copy could be slightly tweaked. But no, they click on the ad first. And hopefully your system goes to the next step, which might be a lead magnet or something, download something, or hopefully a consultation. You can get them to a Zoom meeting or physical meeting. You can implement this. But to make it even better, you want to build trust before they get to you, before the first meeting. That's where you tell them in a different way that you're the doctor. That's where you create what I call a trust asset, like a mini book we talked about, where you might have a book that they order. It goes in the mail before they see you, not downloaded to the phone. They get in the mail, they're like, what is this? A book from this guy, a security business? This is so weird, but yeah, wow, I'm impressed. In their mind, all of a sudden, Mr. Hazel says, wow, this guy must be good. He's an expert in his field. Without that book, or you have to go teach them and tell them you're the expert on the call.
Now you got to tell them 20 stories.
So you take care of the sale before it actually happens with that concept. It's
about getting material to them at the right time where they're looking for an answer.
Exactly. Yeah. But preferably not digital. Physical in the mail when nobody else is. It's the opposite of everybody else. Everyone's going digital. We're putting things in the mail, in the actually empty mailbox. Why? 100% deliverability. Everybody gets it.
That's true, yeah.
No one else is doing it. And the whole experience is chemically different. You're holding something that's physical, tangible.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the books on the shelf there you gave me probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Still got all 3 of them.
Yeah, well, I've got 8 of them now, different books.
I took that idea the wrong way once when I was first starting out, first business. I was doing everything to get leads, right? And Patrick Bet-David was a big online mentor for me when I was starting out. And he always tells this story about how he got a pair of shoes and he'd send somebody one shoe in the box.
Oh, I've heard that.
I've got one shoe in the door. Right? So I was like, that is a good idea, mailing something. So there was this guy I'd been working on for a while and he owns a really big business that I wanted to get work from. And he's in security as well. So I thought it's easy for him to subcontract to us. I don't have to go and then win all the clients, But I couldn't get his attention. I thought, I'm going to try to send him something. And I should have gone with a pair of shoes. But what I did do is send him a $300 bottle of scotch, right?
Okay.
And I thought, that'll do it. Yeah. Right. And then a week later, I get it back in the mail.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like shocked. I was like, who doesn't take a $300 bottle of whiskey, right? He wrote a handwritten letter in it. He said, thank you for the gesture, but I can't accept it. It doesn't look great. If I'm taking things that could be considered a bribe.
Sure.
It's not how I prefer to do business. Sure. And I don't suggest you do this again. It's not how you want to grow your business.
Oh, really? Wow.
He said, but I'll have a coffee with you anyway.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And we went and caught up. We've never done business together, but we've stayed friends.
Sure, that's cool.
But that was he saw a young entrepreneur doing all the cheeky things,
breaking all the rules.
And he was like, I'm going to give this guy the advice to stop here. And he's either going to take it or he's not.
Sure.
But I took it. I've never sent anything like that ever again. And we've been offered many times, I can give you this work, but you've kind of got to do something and I've always just said, nah.
Yeah.
Because he was right when he sent me that letter.
Of course.
You will win business and make money doing it that way, but you'll win it from the wrong people.
Correct. Yeah,
You then
that's
have
true.
something over you,
That's true.
and the good people that find out about it will never trust you.
Correct.
So
Correct.
just don't go down the road. And we never did.
That's
But-
good. That's good.
So luckily, I tried it with someone honest.
Lesson learned.
Because if I said that to the wrong person, they would have taken it, and then the next time they would ask for more.
Exactly.
So I maybe I'll go with books and things instead
sure.
of.
Yeah.
But I love giving out books because even giving out other people's books,
Right.
every time someone uses it or is using something they learned from it, I feel like they remember me.
Correct. It's knowledge.
Yeah, and I think people appreciate when you teach them something, right?
Correct. Correct.
I gave out some of Hormozy's books the other day to someone who was just starting out in
You
business.
bought those,
Said, read
yeah.
these, yeah. But now every time Hormozy comes up, probably for the rest of his life, he's going to think, that's that guy that gave me those books, you know?
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
And so, yeah, you're right. It's that idea of getting something in the mail, which no one does anymore.
Correct.
And it's almost the old school giving people a pen and a notepad, you know? Like they're not going to throw it out because they know there's something valuable
Look, when
there.
they were kids, we were told never throw your books away for school. So we know in the back of our mind to always keep our books. They go on the shelf. They don't go in the rubbish can or the trash can.
Yeah.
It's not disposable books because it has knowledge in it. So we're trained and conditioned to respect books, which means they respect you as the author. Transferring respect from that device to you prior to your first conversation. It resets the relationship as you're the doctor and they're the patient
It's true.
without having an MD degree. You know?
And we do have this respect for books. He made me think of this book I've got at home, and it's written by somebody who I despise because he ripped me off. And the book was his lead gen, actually. And look, he didn't rip me off, but it was a bad fit, and he took the sale anyway. He should have known better to say we weren't a good fit, and we lost a lot of money. And but I still can't throw the book out.
I know.
Maybe because it's a reminder of the bad times.
Maybe,
right?
maybe. Yeah, it's hard.
You do feel guilty because you're
I
like,
know.
somebody didn't just post this on LinkedIn.
Exactly.
Like they went to the effort to write it,
Yes.
they printed it,
Exactly.
they put a label on it and a barcode, and they sent it to
Correct.
me.
There's value in itself.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing about having a book is it doesn't prove you're good at what you do, it just proves you did a book. So I just proves that I printed a book. But the association automatically happens chemically.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I've gotten a book, he must be good.
Yeah. I remember one of the first business coaches I tried to get had written a book. I won't say the name. I don't want to call him out on it, but he was advertising his book as like a bestseller and all this stuff. And I got this book and I read it and it sounded great, but it was never a bestseller. I don't think it ever sold a copy. And so I guess it can be used in the wrong way, right? Which is why it's important to not send one thing. I noticed
Correct.
with you're sending a lot of follow-ups
Correct.
to show this is not a one-trick pony.
Correct. Plus, all of our content is all problem-centric, not solution-centric. The books that we help create for clients don't contain solutions. They contain just the problems that we help the client solve. Trust is when you feel someone understands you. They go, oh, yeah, he gets me.
Yeah.
He must be good. So the idea is to not market yourself in these books. It's not about your story. It's about their story, which is so opposite of what books are supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about answers. But our books that we help people create called Trust Assets are about the problems that your market has in a physical format where they respect you because you understand their problem. And you're marketing the problem to them, not your solutions. Because solutions are commoditized. Everyone does what we do. We can't say we're different. They're not going to believe us until after they're a client, not before. So how you differentiate is you package the problem and help them see it in a different light. And they go, yep, he understands me. He's my guy.
And I think, and I'm sure you and I know different. When you buy something, the prices may be a bit this or that or the color or whatever it might be, but the real question is which one of these is going to give me exactly what I want.
Correct.
Right? Like that's the fear.
Does it is it for me? Does it get me?
Yeah.
Does he understand my problems? If he doesn't, he's just marketing himself. That's the key is for trust building. Someone has to feel that you understand them. Emotionally, that they go, he gets me. He understands our problem. We got to work with him.
One of the things I love about your, I guess, entire journey with this business is the fact that you've found something that works and stuck with it forever. Because I think at the moment there's so many gurus that it's almost like, oh, it's how many ways can you skin a cat? I'll give you whichever one you want. Just let me do it for you.
I know.
And it's like, I want to be told what you can make work, not what I think can work and you can help me try and deliver it.
Everyone's pivoting right now and trying to chase the next thing. We've always stuck to our values of trust. Trust will never change. No matter how much technology changes.
It's actually becoming more valuable now as we lose trust.
Exactly.
Because of the internet.
All of a sudden it's important. It has been for 25 years. I've been screaming, trust.
Yeah.
I was in a meeting last night with a whole bunch of VP of sales, and they were all saying, we're having difficulty, closing these deals. I said, what are you guys doing? We're chasing, following up. I said, stop doing all that. Learn how to build trust instead. It's a different skill set. I said, stop selling build trust instead. Like, what do you mean we build trust? Yeah, but you're doing things that break trust by saying, hi, I'm giving you a call to follow up.
Yeah, all the lines that tell you he wants this deal. Yeah.
It's like the wrong message.
It's true, yeah. Never say the F word, yeah.
Yeah, you always say feedback instead, not follow up.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a call if you have any feedback on our last meeting. Feedback goes backwards, not forwards.
Yeah.
Follow-up's going forwards, which is pressure and chasing. Feedback's going backwards.
And getting them on the phone.
They get feedback on our last meeting, feedback on a proposal, feedback on the email. Feedback is the key word for that situation.
Yeah, and I think anybody who's switched on in the coaching and business world knows that it is those micro things, right? It's
the language.
Most people aren't doing the biggest thing wrong.
Correct.
It's the little things that trigger the wrong thing in people's minds.
Optimization.
Yeah.
The language of trust is what I call it.
So that's difficult when you're doing things like writing emails because you've then got to, well, for a while, after a while, you'd probably learn how to change your language around it. But when you're trying to get in the motion of it, is that something AriAI helps with?
Because a lot of our clients
up?
are saying, I want to write this email to this person. Here's what I wrote. It says, now hold on a minute. That's all about you. Stop using the letter I. Stop talking about saying I. It rewrites it for you from their perspective. Wow. So it does the shifting for you. And then you learn when you see it A and B, you go, oh, that's so much better. It feels better. Your brain goes, next time around, I'm going to write it this way. So it's teaching you and producing it for you at the same time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because it can be tough. You know, you read a book, you take away some really good lessons, but then trying to make it your new habit is a whole nother story.
Correct. Implementation. Yeah, correctly. Because that's habits different. That'd be every day you got to change your behavior.
Yeah. And it's so easy to slip back.
Very easy.
Because everyone else is saying those things to you.
I know.
Everyone else is saying follow up. So before you know it, you're saying it again.
It's like any habit, health, exercise, you got to do the same reps every single day to get it right.
So take me back to, I guess, the beginning of 25 years ago, you came up with the idea of going down this road, but where were you in sales? So
I used to be a sales manager in a software company for a high-tech company before doing this. It was called Website Story. We launched the first online website tracking tools to collect website data, like Google Analytics, stats for websites. And we were bought by Google years ago. I left after that, unfortunately. But that was where I started in tech. And there's a story behind this. And one day I was managing 18 reps underneath me. A lead came across my desk, a huge whale opportunity. And I called the guy back. We had a great conversation. He was part of a big company. And he wanted a live demo of our product. And if I closed this one deal, it would double the revenue in one sale. That's how big it was.
Wow.
They finally come. It's Friday, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Big table kind of like this, old school speakerphone. I dialed the number. And he goes, hey, how's it going, Ari? I said, good. He's like, let me tell you who's with us on the phone line today. I said, great. Next thing here is, hi, it's Mike. I'm CEO. I was like, oh, perfect. It's Julie. I'm head of global marketing. Amazing. I'm Mike. I'm head of global IT. I'm like, perfect. These are all decision makers. Then we had them all log in, gave them a live demo of our product. And I started hearing the noise on the phone call, like, wow, this is great. This is amazing, Ari. They started asking me all kinds of questions. How does it work? How do we install it? They had all their kind of the questions I wanted to hear. I had all the answers. There was some chemistry on this phone call. It was like a love fest on the phone.
Yeah.
They're like loving it. I was like, this is great. An hour goes by. He says to me, Ari, we love this. Give us a call a couple of weeks. Follow up with us, and we'll move this thing forward. I'm like, oh, thank you, God. I said my goodbyes, reached for the phone, and by accident, I hit the mute button instead of the off button by a complete accident. And a small click happened, and they thought I hung up the phone.
Oh, no.
You
were on mute, so you didn't say anything?
I pulled my thumb back for a moment. They thought I left the call. They started talking amongst themselves, thinking I was gone. So I listened into the conversation for a couple of minutes, and here's what I heard. I heard, we're not going to go with him. Keep using him for more information, and make sure we shop someplace else cheaper.
Wow.
Knife in heart twist. I was in a state of shock. I was like, what? And I snapped out of it, hit the off button. I said to myself, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
I was professional. I was friendly. I was competent. And I realized, man, there is a game going on here that they aren't comfortable telling me the truth. And I said, that's enough. This is dysfunctional. I'm going to launch my own way of thinking about this to stop playing the games with people so you're not being lied to. That became a whole unlock the game premise behind not chasing the deal, but instead go.
Because it wastes so much time. It wastes so much time. You could have been finding the right customer, and they could have been off solving it with someone else like you.
Why all this games going on?
Well, obviously in that case, they wanted to get something out of you.
Yeah, they were using me
for
their own purposes. That's not right. Ethically, it's not right.
Yeah.
I
That's
can't.
crazy.
I can't accept that.
And did they ever know that you heard that? What happened?
No, they just left, and that was it. I licked my wounds, and I said to myself, never again. I will never put myself in a position to be lied to ever again.
Wow.
And be taken advantage of.
And never forgot about it.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the moment.
Well, then I launched my business called Unlock the Sales Game.
Yeah.
Trust-based selling. Never chase a client again. Get to the truth and stop playing the sales games with people.
Yeah. Well, the best thing about getting to the truth is getting to the truth doesn't mean getting to the close. It means getting to the next opportunity if that's not the right
Correct. The truth of whether you're fit or not. If you're not a fit, you let them go.
Yeah.
But they'll seduce you into saying things like, hey, sounds great. They want to think about it. Oh, great meeting. High five. But they have no intention of buying it all.
Yeah, it's tough because as a business, it wastes so much resources. And I find with sales staff, it's hard enough to get them to get rid of the people that are even saying no, let alone the ones that are saying yes and don't mean it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't know the truth.
Yeah.
You're stuck in the game.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny you say that. I had the complete opposite situation just this week, actually yesterday. So a friend of mine I'm doing a software with rings me and he goes, hey, a member on our board's got a friend who's in a consulting firm and they want to do exactly what we're doing together. I've told him I'm already doing it with Rick, so like I can't give you his IP. You're going to have to ring him and talk to him about it. So this guy wanted to jump on a call with me because he basically wanted to pick my brain and say, hey, we're going to be competitors on this, but it's a big enough pool that it doesn't really matter. And so I said, you know what? I'll take a phone call with anybody. If he's in a business that big, there's got to be some kind of value I can find out of it too.
Sure.
And if not, then I just won't tell him anything. So we jump on a call and we do the introductions, and he very openly said, look, I'm pretty sure we're direct competitors, so don't tell me things you're not comfortable. But if you can tell me things that might just help us or, maybe we can make the solution better for both of us and we sell it to our own people, whatever the arrangement is. So we jump on this call and we're going through it and it was meant to be a 15-minute, turns into an hour and a half. And by the end of it, we're like talking about how we're going to draft up agreements to work together because we realized he fits a piece of the puzzle I don't have. I fit a piece he doesn't have. And instead of us trying to sell it independently, if we did it together, this thing will be incredible.
Makes sense.
But that's because we both said the truth up.
Honest and open and transparent. No games, right?
Yeah. Because
no hidden agendas.
If I didn't know what he wanted, I would have given him different answers.
Exactly.
And I would have said something else.
It's a great story.
Yeah. But we both just said we might be competitors and might not want to tell each other anything.
Right.
Let's find out. And like we've already on the call, we're booking the next meeting. We're talking about how the board's got to approve this and that.
So you said, I'm willing to walk or I'll walk if we're not a fit here.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
But everyone just told the truth.
Right. You let go of the end objective. You had no goal.
Yeah.
You're just like, let's just focus on what's for a fit or not.
And it was perfect.
I love it.
And even he said, he goes, I can't believe the direction this conversation's taken.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But that's what happens when you tell the truth.
Correct. Exactly.
Because it's so muddy when you get in that. Everyone knows the business back and forth.
Yeah.
Flick another email, postpone that meeting. Let's try.
Hi, my name is, I'm with, click, it's over.
Yeah.
I'm being sold something.
Yeah.
Yeah. The big idea is you got to stop selling. You just got to stop that idea of selling and focus on how to build trust instead.
It's a tough change to make.
Yes.
And I speak from a business that does a lot of cold calling and cold emails and things like that. And we constantly convince ourselves it's the best way to get to somebody.
Correct.
Because it's so scary to admit it might not be the best way. Because like you said about the mail, most phone calls will land. They'll only 10% will only land on the right person. But at least most of them are going through. And it's scary to give that up.
Because we're taught to pursue people. That's why. We're conditioned to hunt, to chase. That's a normal way of thinking. To me, it's abnormal. Yeah. You should not
16
chase.
follow-ups.
Exactly. Hey, I had a busy day today, guy. I got pipeline, made lots of phone calls. High five. Let's go have a beer. I'm like, what?
How many people would you sell?
What do you need that for? Yeah. That's admin work.
Yeah.
Your job is to bring clients in, build trust with them, and onboard them, not to chase anybody, not chase ghosts. So our concept is you work off what I call a by appointment only business model. When the lead comes in, schedule them to a next call and a next conversation and a next conversation. There is no drop off anymore. All you have to say is, would you be open to us scheduling a time again to meet maybe next week? We'll ask for more questions for you, brainstorm some ideas for you. That way we'll avoid each other, chasing each other back and forth. Would you be okay with that? People usually go, sounds good. It's reasonable. It's the truth. I'm not going to chase you. You don't have to chase me. Let's just schedule a call and go to the next step.
I picked this up from somewhere. I don't know where. Tell me your thoughts. But one of the things I've kind of adopted is you've got to know what the point of each stage is. For example, if someone rings you 1-300 number right now, don't give them your pitch and your price. The whole point of that first conversation is let's get you booked in for a meeting. Right. And then the goal of that meeting might be just to understand what they need, then go away again and come up with a proposal.
Yeah.
Pre-think the proposal. offer them the wrong thing, then they think you're the wrong fit and you've lost it.
Right. The first step should be schedule a meeting. Next step is what I call go down the iceberg. Ask questions to unpack the problem and figure out the cost, COI, cost of an action. What's it costing them not to fix the problem? Reverse engineer it. And then you say, is this a priority for you to fix? They go, yeah, you're right. We got to fix it. Then you show them a roadmap, a visual tool of what your process is, pre-proposal of how you solve the problem. So phase 1 is needs assessment. Phase 2 is proposal. Phase 3 is we meet again. You lay out a roadmap to show them visually how you work from this call. Otherwise, they're not going to believe you or trust you. Then you schedule the next meeting to go. So when they see a framework like that, then they understand what in their mind the process is. If you just talk about it,
and they know
one year
pressure comes.
Right.
This is the price point.
Yeah, they see what's going to happen next. No surprises around the corner. No quick closes. This is our model, John. Here's how we work. Stage 1, stage 2. Are you okay with that? You have to get agreement first on your process before they agree to a next step. People miss the middle part, which is the roadmap process.
It's funny you say that. I thought I was a genius, but maybe I just watched a video of yours because 6 months ago I'm in the shower and I had this idea and I was like, I know what we're doing wrong. We're not explaining the process well enough. And I jumped out and ran to the computer and came up with the 5-stage strategy we do. And it was the first 3 stages were pre-money exchange.
Perfect.
And the last 2 were implementation and measuring the result.
Exactly.
And since we started doing that, it's made a huge difference.
Yeah, that's huge.
Because people are like, oh, the first 3 things normally everyone does, but just doesn't tell us about it. And because we don't know they're doing it, we don't give enough info. And so instead, and actually on a big enough deal, we charge for the first 3 stages.
Sure.
And what we're saying is, you might not use this for implementation, but at least you have the right plan for what you need.
Correct, exactly.
And they trust you so much by the time you get to it.
Of course.
Then why would they go somewhere else? Yeah. And that's we've been doing that all year and it's been phenomenal.
Very good.
Yeah, we closed our biggest deal doing that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They need structure in their mind to trust you. If there's no structure, they can't compute and trust your next step.
Let me tell you something I've really struggled with. So I'm a hardcore ADHD visionary entrepreneur, right? My brain doesn't stop. And so when I was in the early stages of everyone was sold in my business by me and I'd hand it off to ops, I acted the way I act, but not realizing I'm dealing with managers in businesses that are employees that have a kind of corporate structure to fit. And I think that meant I was putting in pieces in the wrong place as well. And maybe that ties into this because if you don't know how you're going to do things, and I didn't, I was just shooting from the car.
Sure.
Even if it's just you in your own business, you're a solopreneur, let's say. People think you only need structure when you've got 20 employees, but you don't. You need that structure from day one.
Exactly. You need a roadmap of what your process is for yourself.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's so you miss something.
Correct. And they respect you for that.
Yeah.
They go, oh, wow, you got a roadmap? No one else has that I spoke to today. Because you're a professional. You do it right the first time. Like a doctor, you don't skip steps. It's unethical to do that. You follow a process. You diagnose, you prescribe, and you deliver the medicine. You don't cross over things when you feel like doing it. It's not random. It's a system. Here's our process. You get them to agree to that first before the next meeting. Are you okay with the process? They go, yeah, makes sense.
But you do need a certain level of confidence because I've had this happen to us where we go, this is our 5 stage, and they go, if you can't give me a price today, I'm going somewhere else.
No problem. Have a nice day.
But you have to say, I'm sorry, but if we don't follow this process, blah, 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 we can't do it. But then you're sitting there going, geez, I really need that money.
You know what you can do? Here's a good one for you. If they say to you, we want the cheapest price or best price, whatever, here's what you say. You say, let me ask you a question. Is price the only criteria that you care about? You don't care about quality, delivery, on time, and then all you care about is price. Let me just get this right. Is that correct? You care about nothing else. Is that right? They go, well, wait. Of course, not just price. We'll make sure it's accurate and you're on time. Oh, that's different now. With the lowest price, you're going to sacrifice something. What are you willing to sacrifice? Like, what? You kind of got to reset their brain because they're viewing you as a commodity over somebody else. So you can say, look, others will go cheaper, but they'll sacrifice something. I guarantee you that. We like to get things done the right first time. But we have a roadmap process. It's how we work. It's our system. If you follow it, you'll be fine. If you don't follow it, you're in trouble. If you go to somebody else, they don't have a roadmap, run away as fast as you can.
Yeah, true. And it makes them realize they know in their own business they've got process for a reason.
Correct.
So
they respect you for your process because who's got that these days? Everyone's just showing up and winging it.
Yeah.
On personality.
You remind me of a one-liner. I've got a group CEO across our businesses, and he always says the same thing. When we do it, you do your best presentation and everything, and someone always has to say, can you bring the price down at all? And he always looks at the deliverables and goes, no worries, what are we taking out? And they go, oh, no, we don't want to take anything out, just cheaper. And he's like, well, what? If I can't take anything out, how can I make it cheaper? And they're like, I guess,
Yeah, best answer is no, we don't do that.
Yeah.
We
just don't.
You just look away like that. They go, what? No, we don't do that.
Yeah, set price.
Any more questions you have?
But it does come with the confidence of doing that, because when most people are an entrepreneur who's got bills,
correct,
their customers aren't paying on time, especially at the moment. Everyone's behind in their invoices being paid. Your bills are piling up. And then you've got an opportunity that no matter what size it is, there's some profit there. It's so hard to say, I'm going to stick to this process.
Correct.
I know if it's not a good fit. It's really hard to do.
But they'll respect you for it. And you can try and work on the idea of resolving the billing issues by getting paid up front as well. There's ways to re-engineer your model. So you get a fee up front to begin the work versus doing the work and being paid later. That's where everybody gets stuck. They're waiting for payment from the previous work. But if your roadmap says, here's our process, we have a nominal fee first to begin the process, which is $5K, that gets you from phase 1 to phase 3, that's how we work. And they pay you to begin the work. There's no more collections anymore. Then next phase, you pay again. So you model it out so you get paid before you do the actual work, not afterwards.
And again, I'll bring it back to confidence, because everyone gets told, no, we only do 30 days. We only do 60 days end of month and all this stuff. But if you are firm with it and they want what you have, they have no choice.
Yeah. I once had a company hire me as a speaker, and I said, how does the billing work? They go, well, you speak to our group, and then when you can invoice us, we'll pay you 60 days afterwards. I'm like, what?
I'm going to be hungry for 60 days.
That's not how I work, I said. How I work is I get the fee up front, then I book on my calendar, then I do the work itself. Can you make that work? He goes, well, hold on, I'll make a call to procurement. He comes back, yeah, we do that for you. I just asked for it. I explained, here's how I work. They're not going to fight you and say, well, here's how we work, here's how you work. They're going to go, oh, no one else ever told us how they work, except for you, Ari. Because we all accept it. We're subservient to the client. We just go, okay, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. If you give them another option that makes sense, common sense, it's logical, they'll adjust for you.
It has to be logical, right? You nailed it there, actually.
The roadmap.
If you explain a logical
has to make sense. They got to understand what your process is. I said, here's my process. First, you make the payment. Then we secure the date. Then I do the work. Then that's my process, how I work, whatever the guy's name was. He goes, oh, okay. It was like, that was it. I changed their billing system for me.
Yeah, I think people are scared to ask, but you don't get anything you don't ask for.
It's not even asking, just telling them how you work. It's showing them a process map. Here's how I work. They go, oh, he's got some guts. He's got some balls, this guy. He's got a process.
So when you started 25 years ago, coaching was a very different world, right? Because right now, to be a coach, you jump online, create an Instagram,
anybody,
you're good to go. But I could imagine your earliest sales, let's say, when you were just figuring out on your own, it would have been proper boardroom pitches.
It was. Yeah. We had, back then we just had conference lines. Everyone jump onto a conference line. I'd do like a talk on a conference line, I'd ask for the next step. It was really kind of fumbly, but somehow I made it work.
Yeah. It would have been tough though, because it's all you knew, so it's a bit different.
That's all I knew. Yeah. It's all I knew.
And it's all anyone knew how to buy was the way it was done. So.
Correct. The hardest part was getting the model right. What's the right model if we're going to use membership, coaching, consulting, corporate stuff? Now we're launching a new app coming out soon called Selling with Trust. And in that app with my courses and a new membership group called the Trust Movement. They'll be a member of the movement, then they'll access AriAI. So we have a whole model we're creating now, which will then end up being a global meetup system around the world in different cities. We'll have moderators who will meet once a week or once a month to discuss their trust-based processes together. So we're building out a whole network around this.
So you've obviously realized you're sitting on an absolute gold mine with all the content you've made.
Correct. Because
if you look at Hall Mosey, for an example, he created school.com.
Correct.
The amount of people that are jumping on school that barely know anything and are making courses that they're killing it with.
Everyone's saying that.
And it's like, and here you are sitting on a gold mine of 25 years.
Exactly, of unique content.
Of the number one problem in every business.
Exactly. Well said.
Yeah.
He's my marketing director right here.
It's funny because, so I actually left Cub recently, I was telling you before. Yeah. And it's mainly because I've only got so much time, so I wanted to redirect the time I got for networking. And one thing I realized was networking is powerful, but it's all every group or every type's got its own flavor of what they see as the way in there.
Yes.
So Cub's very communal.
Yes.
It's about helping each other. It's about if someone's going to call you and ask for help, you've got to help them back. It's that I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Yes.
And that really helps you grow a business when you don't know a lot.
Correct.
But once you feel like you've learned what you need to learn, and that's where I felt like I was then, the next stage is now I need to find people that are in that more aggressive buying cycle. I want to really scale the business.
Yeah.
And that can be tough to find because, human nature is more comfortable sitting around talking about our problems than getting out there and talking about solutions.
It's true.
But the one thing I learned most from probably sitting around Cub, and I reflected a lot when I left the membership, the thing I learned most was there's no secret problems in business. There's secret solutions. Everyone thinks they got the best solution, but the problems are all identical.
True.
There's only like 4 or 5.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter how many round tables or how many networking things you sit at and ask the guy next to you, what's your biggest problem in business? See if we can solve it together. It's always the same thing. Can't get enough leads in. My guys aren't good closers. My operations have a pinch point we can't solve. I don't have the cash flow to grow. Like you can rattle off probably
on a hand. 10
10 at the most.
Yeah.
5 real problems and 5 like secondary problems.
Funny. I have my own show called Stump the Guru, a live streaming show. People come on once a month live and try and stump me with their toughest questions.
Yeah.
And they're coming all ready to go. I already know what the top 10 questions are because all the same problems. I don't stop chasing that guy. He's not calling me back.
Yeah.
It's great, but I love doing it.
But it really, reflecting on that really made me realize that there's a maturity now where you can decide I'm either going to be somebody in business who sits around having the same problems, or I can move to the next stage of business where I'm now solving those problems and committing to it. Because I felt like I was becoming, and nothing against them, it's very hard to solve your business problems, but I felt like I was becoming someone who had the same problem for a long time. And I'm like,
I see.
Why haven't I just fixed this?
Yeah, right.
Why am I still talking about it?
Plug up the hole.
Yeah.
Right.
And for me, it's always lead. We're fantastic, but leads are always hard to get. But then I met a few people, even some of the people on the podcast, and they're like, no, leads are easy to get. What do you? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. It's not. I just am not following the right process.
But not focusing on that. It's just right, exactly.
Yeah, we're always. I mean, security. You're operational, right? It's a really ops heavy business.
Yes.
But once you solve that problem, then something else becomes the next.
Exactly. It opens up, and there's an opportunity, like your software you're talking about. Exactly.
Yeah. So you could go anywhere in the world, and I'm sure every business says the same thing, which is they want more leads.
Correct.
But where do you really start with that? There's a whole process you've got.
Here's
but
the
what's
funny
step
thing
one?
is they say they want more leads. When I talked, here's a quick story for you. So I had a head of sales call my office the other day, and I had a call with him, and he says to me, Ari, we love your material, we love your concepts. Come on in and do some training for our people. I inspire them for the year. Give them some new content, some new ideas. And I said to him, what's the problem you want to solve? He goes, no, we're doing great. We're growing. We're doing great in the market. Come on in and give us some inspiration. What's the problem you want to solve? No, we love your... And finally I said to him, look, I said, let me ask you a question. How many leads are you getting a month for your team? He goes, how about 100? I go, how many converting out of the 100? He goes, about 20. I said, what happened to 80? Let's fix that problem. You're losing 80 opportunities a month. He goes, all right, that's a good problem to solve. Let's work on that. So the reality is it may not always be leads. It's often conversion. They're chasing the leads and not converting. We can double the conversion rate. They double their business. So we go there first. We first work on conversion. Get up to 100% of the qualified ones. Once they're all converting that are qualified, then we go to lead gen. You do the opposite. You set up a hole in the bottom of the bucket, putting more leads in, and the conversion is the same. So that's the whole funnel thing. We do a cylinder. Cylinder is where you narrow, we put only the ideal clients in, build trust with them, the majority come out. The funnel is put everything you can at the top, work your ass off in the middle to qualify. At the end, a few marbles come out. That's the old model, which is just going to die at some point.
I'm picturing that diagrams everywhere, right? Of the old school funnel.
Exactly.
And it's like, just keep filling it.
Yeah, if you have a narrow one, your brain goes, okay, what do we put in there? Only ideal qualified ones. And we stop selling to them. We just build trust with them instead.
Again, it's back to having the confidence of actually only going for your ideal.
Yes,
customer.
it is. You got to narrow, you got to zoom in versus zoom out.
Because you want to sell everyone.
I know that.
But often you're selling the majority of the low margin and the tough to convert. And
high low margin. You're better off niching down to the ideal client who really willing to pay a premium for what you have to offer.
So building that kind of customer avatar and really understanding who we have to market to.
Yeah. So in your case for your tool, you talked about the software you mentioned to me. Maybe you want to just choose the company that has like 30 facilities versus one off, because there's a higher value for them. So it just depends who you're targeting.
It does take a confidence, though. I've done it recently. We banned alarm monitoring, which is like our number one service for years, but it's just like, it's $55 a month and it takes us like 10 hours to close a deal, implement it, sign them off. So we'll make money in 3 years on $55 a month at a time, you know, and it's like, how much time are we spending on this again? You know, and it's like 50% of our sales time.
Correct.
What if we spend that 50% on a higher conversion?
Yes.
You know?
Zoom in.
Yeah. But it's the confidence of going, okay, but that means we need more of those leads. We need to find more of those people.
Or there might be some already in the funnel that aren't being converted that you don't know can afford your fee at a premium fee. They're still selling the old way. They're chasing, following up. They don't know the truth behind the leads. There could be a percentage in there that are high quality ones that are being burnt. You don't even know it because they're just doing the same old thing. I'll send you an email, proposal. Hey, I'll give you a call Monday. Hey, Monday. John, how's it going? You don't know because your mindset's still, I got to sell this guy.
Haven't changed the thinking around it. Yeah.
Correct. There could be quality leads in the bucket.
I think the other problem now with trying to become an entrepreneur, so we've got a family business, 45 years old, right? My grandfather started it.
Okay.
And 45 years ago, it didn't need a whole lot of marketing. It started in Canberra, so everyone knew of it anyway. But eventually the core kind of marketing, I'll say, became yellow pages, white pages, and an ad on ABC in the morning while everyone's having breakfast. Cool. And that was enough to grow to 12 franchises and all this stuff. And it raised me and my 3 brothers and sisters. And my dad hasn't really changed the model because it's still, the word of mouth now is huge when you've been around that long. It's a very niche business. And so that's worked. But now if you're starting literally any business today, where do you even start? I mean, there's so much social media and paid ads and YouTube and Instagram,
PR.
TikTok. Yeah, it doesn't end.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's the importance of not getting confused in it all and saying,
correct.
Again, it probably comes back to ideal avatar.
Who's my ideal client? What industry are they in? What niche are they in? And who already has them in their own pond? Who spent the money in advance to collect them from the wide ocean, put them into a narrow space, like an association of business owners or a business group of some sort that are narrow and by profession. So we prefer to go offline versus online. Like we might go into financial advisors. They all belong to multiple associations. You just advertise through the association, or chiropractors or plumbers, right? They all have their own groups they belong to. You can enter those groups, then you can get inside of a pond that contains the whales where nobody else is inside. That's called making money in the dark. No one knows what you're doing. That's what I like. Inside little niches like that is how you really drop the bait and the fishing pole to bring out the whales.
I always say this, and I probably offend people trying to do, but there's 2 types of people really in business. There's one everyone gets along with and one that people can't stand. And if you're someone that, you know the type, right? That kind of irritable, always in a panic kind of personality that there's a lot of business owners that like. I find in networking events, they really struggle, right? So maybe that's not for them. But the charismatic guys that really just want to talk about what they're doing, that sounds like it's where you should be, right?
Correct.
Networking in general.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially in the ponds that contain your ideal client. Yeah.
But it's about getting into the process again, because I was definitely a self-inflicted victim of this, where you go to networking events and you talk to these people and you go home empty-handed. Yeah. And maybe you've got some business cards or something, or you've given some out, but you really learned nothing, met no one.
Correct.
You told people your story all night long that won't remember you. And
I know.
And it's like, what was all that for?
The real key in these groups is to be positioned as a speaker, to do one-to-many, to speak to them as an authority on stage. I do a lot of talks to Cub and EO and all kinds of business groups all the time because I've got the books, I've got the niche ideas. I'm going to get on stage and talk to people. But people don't see themselves as speakers. They go, I just run a business, a security business, but I'm also a speaker. Oh, you speak on this? You just change your languaging. People go, oh, he could be an educator as well? They'll put you on their stage. It's amazing that small switch can happen and things, just doors open up.
And again, it's all based around trust, right? If you're seen in that light.
Exactly.
And not just seen, I mean, you could get up there and make a fool of yourself.
Oh,
and
you
no one will
know what
trust
you're
you.
doing, obviously.
If you really know what you're doing and you get up there. And
provide some value in an environment where you're on stage talking to them as a group. You're seen as the authority by default, not as a peer. You're networking, you're a peer. Hey, nice to meet you. Where are you from? Really? This to this. But when you're on stage or speaking or the authority on a book, you're up here and they're down here. And you can guide them towards solutions versus having to do the social norms, social games before you get there. It takes a long time.
That awkward time wasting, yeah. We've done plenty of that.
Correct.
And it's hard because you both know what you want, but you can't ask for it.
Exactly, because you break the social rules of the group.
But if you walked up to everyone and said, hey, I'm here for 2 sales leads, are you one of them? Then no one would talk to you.
Of course.
So yeah, you've really got to get, you're right. If you're just in attendance, You can only really get so much out of it.
Correct.
Yeah. But this comes down to, are you an expert? If you're an expert at something, somebody wants that advice.
Yes. You have to show them an expert by being an authority. And the first word in authority is author. You have to have a book to be seen as an educator. If you're not, you just own a business. They don't see you in their mind as an academic, a teacher, a coach on the topic that you do. It's a different door opener. That's why you have to have that asset to get in the door like that.
And subconsciously, they know you've got a service to sell, so that if you are just a service provider, then they're always going to be that standoffish, he's got that guy to sell that thing. Yeah.
They always say, hey, just you can talk, but make sure you don't sell anything. I'm like, nothing to sell. I'm going to teach, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But at the end, you can offer them your free book as a gift, and then they come forward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because there is just so many ways now to have a sales conversation. And also, depending on your business type and size, depends on who you're after, you know? Like, if you won, it doesn't matter what industry, if you won Combank as a customer tomorrow or AGL Energy or something, you would never be able to service them. They're too big, probably, for like 99.9% of business, right? Yeah. So you really got to know, again, it comes back to customer oversight, right? Know exactly who you're trying to talk to.
Exactly.
And get in the right spaces.
Who will pay you the most and trust you the quickest? That's the two criteria right there.
And I remember when I was kind of starting out as a young entrepreneur with no idea what I'm doing, I always had this mental barrier that I thought, I've only been around 5 minutes. I'm only 27. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm very good at fluffing my way through things, but I can't walk into a big room yet because, you know, I might not know what to say or what to do, or they might catch me out for something. But the reality is, if you go into those bigger rooms with more seasoned business people, they've seen it all. So if you're not a bullshit artist, then they'll see that straight away because they would see through that everything.
Exactly. They have a filter already.
But if you go talk to the local fish and chip shop and you try and sell him something, he's just going to tell you to bugger off, don't want to hear it, you know, and it doesn't matter whether you're truthful or not.
Correct.
You really got to be talking to the right person.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, but it's hard to get to them.
It is. If you're seen as a salesperson, yes, it is. But not as an authority or expert, it's not.
So taking the approach of an authority, you're going to these events and you're being seen in that way. But again, you then can't go up to people and say, here's my book, call me on Monday.
No, you don't give the book out. It's not a business card. That's the difference.
Yeah.
It's not a business card. What you do is you use the book as a way to frame yourself as an expert on your topic. Then at some point you speak with people in charge and say, do you have any opportunities for speaking to educate your members on this topic? Would think they'd be open to that? They go, oh, that's great. You've written a book? Oh, yeah. See, you use the book strategically at certain points in the process where the decision makers can see you in that light and respect you. Without the book, I think your goal is just to make the sale. With the book, you're happy to educate them. That's why the book's so important to have that. And a physical one, not digital. But
at its core, you're still hoping they come to you by the end of it, right? Because you're not grabbing them and saying, come to me.
No, yeah. Correct. There's two ways of doing this. One is, if you're not in the group as a member, you can advertise inside the group your free offer for your book, and they order it. That's an inbound lead from you. That's fishing out of someone else's pond, okay? If you're in the pond already, then there's a different layer to go up, little ladder. First got to be a peer. Everyone's got to know you, make sure you're an okay guy. Then you can approach the people in charge and say, do you have any opportunities at some point to have people speak to the members to educate them on this topic? So you have to wait a while for them to trust you to make sure you're an okay member. Then you can move up the chain to go speak.
Yeah, it's funny. Every time I'm in a networking group, one of the first things I say is how long I've been a member there. Because it's like, if it's a month, then everyone's like, oh, okay, we haven't figured him out yet.
Correct.
But if you're like, it's 3-4 years, then they'll go, oh, everyone must know him then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the old tribes. You're in a tribe. The chief has to see you with the other members. Make sure you're okay. Once you're safe and they feel safe with you, then they bring you inside the inner circle of the tribe. You start to move up the chain inside the tribe. Not change for thousands of years.
Yeah, but it just takes time. But really, I think, and I've been saying this for a while now, AI phone calls now happen. We all know that half of your newsfeed on YouTube is AI videos that look realistic. And we're getting to the point where literally anything on your phone, you will not trust. It's like, unless I've met this guy and seen that come out of his mouth in person, I'm not buying it.
Right.
So I think we're about to come full circle because networking has never gone away, but new methods came along, right? You still can use social media and things like that, but we're getting to the point now where there are accounts that have a person behind them that's not a single person page. It's all made up. And And we're still going to lose trust with that. We're going to go back to it's got to be face-to-face.
Correct. Well, everyone's moving back to analog meetings, seminars, speaking, real meetings with new clients, old school. But I've always done that. So I have an old school newsletter I mail out in the mail you get every month for a reason. We do physical books because I know they will never go away. People have to feel you're real and authentic. And proof is you being alive.
I think also as well, people know the effort it takes to post on Instagram's a click of a button.
Right.
The effort it takes to take their address, send something to them, get it in front of them.
Yeah, but it's a system. Once you do it once, it just runs by itself.
Yeah.
You got to build. You got to be a builder. You got to be willing to build the system. Once it's built, runs on its own.
Yeah, and again, you're just creating that credibility. Like, I'm still here years later doing this thing, stuck to it.
Correct. I'm not fly by night.
I think as well, it's just, being a new business owner now, you don't have the ability to create those systems, right? So you've got to start with something simple.
Correct.
But simple doesn't mean going back to on the phones or
correct.
I mean, you see on Instagram and stuff, these young kids doing lawn mowing. Of course, things like that is going to work. But if you're in an expert field, I could imagine if you own a dentist, let's say, you can't go door knock that.
Of course not. Yeah.
But if you went and spoke at events and things like that,
sure.
There's going to be partnerships.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a JV partner model as well.
Yeah.
Find others who already have your ideal client, like you and your friend there who had that call. You can use that as well as a new business owner.
Yeah, I'm very big on partnerships. I think it is, I don't believe in cheat codes, but it is one of them because you're taking somebody who's already got a customer base, but there are niches within it they don't want to service themselves. And if you can do that, there's heaps of
Or their lead, you can lead share as well.
Yeah.
Their leads and their leads are unconverted. Share unconverted leads together. I can't do anything with these guys. You go after them. We'll take yours. That's a great exchange.
Yeah, a friend of mine the other day said to me, I've got 5,000 clients that have left our business and don't want to work with us anymore. Do you think you could call them and see if you can win them? I'm like, of course I can.
Get that list.
Yeah, they're a huge organization.
You have an address?
Probably never going to happen.
Phone calls or
they've got it's a list of it'd be addresses too. But
wow.
And it's true because everyone's got that list of like, oh, we lost it because of this or that or whatever, or we just didn't convert them, and it's like maybe we can reuse them somewhere else.
Well, if they haven't solved their problem yet, they're still out there. Looking for help.
Yeah. Yeah, so keeping it simple. I mean, it's not expensive to network, right? Like
Correct.
Going on Google Ads, you can spend $6,000 a month and get nothing back.
Oh yeah, real fast.
But it'd be very hard to spend $6,000 on attending events and dinners and not meet something incredible.
That creates a link to something else.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's true.
So do you do a lot of, I'll call it normal standard networking where you're not speaking like where you're going to a dinner and things like that?
Yeah, I'm a member of quite a few groups. Entrepreneurs Organization, EO. I'm part of that group. Part of Vista, I'm a member as well. Part of Cub, part of Pavilion.
So you must spend a lot of time.
I'm in a lot of these groups, and I'll learn how the groups work so I can do my own one day. Plus, I meet great people, a lot of referrals, and I speak at these groups. So for me, it works really well.
But you'd be going there playing the long game, and I think that's one of the mistakes
exactly
as well,
right? Investing for the long term. The more you're known within the circle of these tribes, the more they refer you, and the more you're the expert. So it's worth the long game.
Yeah, because like everything, in anything you do in business, you can't flick it on overnight.
No.
So again, it comes back to that. If it's a recurring event, if it's a one-off event, it's different, right? But if it's a group that meet every month or every year or whatever,
show up.
Regular enough.
FaceTime is important.
Yeah.
You get respect that way. You're part of the tribe.
But also that means you've got to accept the leads aren't coming from day one. You've got to sit there for a while.
You got to do both, the quick hits and the long term.
Yeah.
You got to drop the seeds in there and plant them, and also do what you got to do. You got to hunt as well. You got to have both at the same time to be sustainable.
Which again, if you're starting out, it's a tough balance, right? I mean, of course, I was speaking to this consultant yesterday, and he was telling me that he's working with all these businesses that have been told literally, hey, go use this money for AI. Like whatever you use it on, go and find a reason to make something in our business faster, smaller, quicker, whatever operations. But we want to start investing in putting AI in our business. Come up with 5 ideas, bring it back to us. We'll give you a budget. But that's not everybody. Most people are, how many cents have I got left after I pay the bills?
I know that.
So it's so hard to budget and do forecasting, and you're not doing all these things.
No.
You're spending money hoping it's you're going to have some use.
Exactly.
And it's bloody hard to get out of that grind.
Correct.
I mean, it was a long time ago. Probably you were back there, but
well, there's LinkedIn now. You can still it's commoditized, but still people are there. You can see their faces. You can see your clients. I can see them.
That's true.
You're smart there. There's stuff you can do to skin the cat quickly.
Yeah, but you're right. It's about having a good mix because if you get too distracted on one, the other dies.
Diversity equals stability. The more diversity you have, the more stability you have. You have only one channel, then you're at risk.
It's the same with your client base, though. The biggest hurdle we ever had was being a client too big. Because when it ended,
of course,
it was fine when it was going.
It's like the air out of the room real quick.
Yeah, but when it ended, it's like, how are we going to replace that?
Exactly. Yeah, you have to have diversity
at
all levels.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my businesses at the moment, the biggest client's only 4%, and that helps me sleep at night.
That's good.
Because when you got someone that's 20 or 30%,
correct.
Scary.
Absolutely.
It's scary when you get those phone calls or when you've made a mistake or something. You're like, please don't go anywhere.
Don't risk the hold. Yeah, I know.
It can be tough.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you stay away from really general business stuff though, right? You're into improve a sales process, building some framework.
Sales growth, roadmaps, not chasing people, and most importantly, what I call the one-call sale, which is shorten the sales cycle down to less steps, less meetings. That's the biggest problem people have right now. They're spending all their time chasing these leads that never convert. So we specialize in that niche, how to build trust in the conversion process to increase or double, triple your conversion rate. That's where we start with people.
So with the Ari app, AriAI, how are people using that? They've got to be a customer through another channel?
Well, now it'll only be available through our app, which is coming out next month, called Selling with Trust. You download it. It's free on your phone. You can use REI for at least a half an hour for free. And once you get massive value of it, you upgrade from there to use unlimited.
So it'll be a standalone. You can use it like a ChatGPT.
Exactly. Inside the app itself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it'll all be there.
And then obviously there are other parts of that app you can unlock if you need to over time.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you can use it as a standalone.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so talk me through, I mean, that's a new business venture, right? So
it's like a startup.
How was it going through that?
Well, the nice thing is I use a platform called Delphi, which is a platform where you can upload all your content. Yeah, I read a book for about an hour and a half on a microphone like this, and my voice was transferred over to this device. So I made it within a few weeks. I didn't build the tech. I was just a user of the tech. So I got my own login, my own photo, and my own voice as my own brain. So it was a real quick startup. Now we're marketing it out to the market. We have clients coming in. Our first clients who already know us are obviously using every month. Now we're going to launch it in a big way through our app. But the app is really the entry door into our startup business, which would be all digital.
So creating the brain wasn't the hard part. It's having the user interface to get it.
Exactly. That was the missing piece that we're missing.
Yeah.
To have it housed inside of a community, inside the community, not on the outside. So,
and you didn't want to use some off the shelf like a school.com.
Correct. No. We want our own system, our own control.
And, you know, it's all business principles. So it's all stuff you would have done without issue, but you've had to find people or did you already have web designers and or app designers?
We have one tech guy using a platform. We're using a platform called Circle, which is basically a white label community system using an app. So it's not going to go on the Apple Store, and then we use their tools and their systems. We don't build our own technology. We borrow other people's technology to use. We're not tech people.
It took me a long time to realize that because I remember when I was younger in business, I was like, man, I really want my own IP. I want something that's ours. And then I realized 99.9% of it is just someone's built a face that plugs in 10 other things someone else does.
Exactly. Why could it come build them?
And I'm like, they don't own that, you know, but it took me so long to realize that, you know, I'd have friends that have these websites with these logins and all this stuff that looked incredible. And I'm like, man, how do you do that? And I realized actually it's the money and the uniqueness is just in your interface.
Yes.
It's the machines in the back.
Exactly.
It's just the machines. No one owns AI. Like it's all leveraged.
You want to that's the key word is leverage. You want to lever your system so you have the highest value at the end of the chain. Not do the whole chain yourself.
Yeah.
So think strategically.
And I think at its core, that's the problem with a lot of young entrepreneurs as well, is they don't realize how much people ask for help.
Exactly.
I think everything's going to be done on their own.
Exactly.
I've got a few friends that have started up recently, and the first thing I've said to all of them is, mate, ring everybody you can for help. When you've got a problem, find 3 people that know the answer, and then whatever the 3 of them tell you, come up with your own from that.
Exactly.
But don't sit there and try and solve everything on your own.
No.
But I think when you're an employee, you're told,
you think
solve this on your own.
You know, funny story? I was asking my team the other day for some information, and they sent me a login to go get the information. I said, no, Ari doesn't log in. You log in from now on. You give me what I want. You give it back to me. They're like, what? I had to train them to understand. I don't log into places. You bring me what I need to make the decision. They aren't used to that. They used to, here's log in yourself. I'm like, no, login has no value. The value is what I need from the login. And they were like laughing. Like, we got it now. Now it's given to me. They log in. Blow up my pay grade.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
It's so funny.
It's a mindset shift.
It is.
But it's so hard to go from being the person that's got to do that or be the person, solve your own problems.
I'm so used to doing it myself. You got to pull back.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. I thought I was good at delegating, but I have to pull myself up and all the time because I find myself doing something and I'm like, I've got 4 other people that could be doing this. And I'm the one up all night working at midnight while they're all clocking off at 5:30.
Correct.
I need to ask them to do it.
You got to 80-20 your time. What's the 20% that has the highest value? You can't do all of it at the same time.
Yeah, I'm in the process right now of keeping a diary. You know, like where's all the time going?
Start.
But again, it's when you're starting out, there's this.
Yes.
I think it comes from this idea that if I ask for help, then it looks like I don't know what I'm doing. I want everyone to think that this is working and I'm on top of it and it's successful. And because we all know when you start a business, half the people that you know think I hope it doesn't work out, and half never buy from you, you know, and people watch from afar. And I feel like if you're seen asking for help, you think you're giving away a hint that it's not working, but you really do just have to ask. I mean, networking groups taught me that. You sit down with people and you get into it and you realize everyone there would help you as much as they possibly could if you just asked.
Yeah, it's like free consulting, free coaching there.
That's true. Yeah.
Great place to start.
Yeah. And so I want to wind back to when I started with you because I do have a book sitting in limbo.
Exactly.
I've been through the process and one of the things that I thought was I guess really valuable is what you said about having a process in place, right? Understanding what the milestone steps are. Because when you sit with somebody and say, write a book and go talk about it on stage and get into these events, it seems like, well, how the hell am I going to do that, right? But I remember going through the process with you thinking, all I'm doing is talking on a Zoom for an hour a bunch of times.
Yes.
And it's his problem to sort that out.
We transcribe it. We write it for you. It's all problem-centric. You don't touch it at all.
Yeah. And but I'm yet to use it. So I'm really excited to actually do that.
Yeah, look forward to it.
And but there's a whole new process in actually printing the books, right? So it's not just we write the book.
No. Once it's laid out and done.
No, I mean, you do it for people.
Yeah. We print it for the printer. Like there's no publishing, just printed. It's a physical thing printed at a printer. Yeah. It's shipped to you. It takes a week.
And you're right. You don't do it in PDF or anything, do you?
No, it's physical only because the whole idea is physical in the mail. They all get it. They hold it. They must physically hold it. Otherwise, they don't trust you. If it's a digital download, are they going to read 100 pages on their phone? I doubt it.
Yeah, it's true. You flick through a couple and you can't put a bookmark in.
You can't win the war in the inbox. You win it in the mailbox because no one else is there.
When are you getting that tattoo? Yeah,
exactly. A T-shirt coming soon.
It's true. Yeah, my inbox is like a 5-day delay at the moment.
You win everybody else.
Yeah,
getting worse every day.
It is. Yeah.
Don't try and win the war everybody else is. Go to a different territory.
But I think it's important what you said about where the pond you're fishing in, because I think that's, you know, I could make the fanciest Instagram video for my business today, but no matter what, it's going to so many people outside of that.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's got to be seen by only those. Look, if you're in a low volume, high margin model, you only would need a few people a month to be clients of yours. Why go to the wide ocean? Find the exact swimming pool that they're in. Okay. And just go right inside that. If you are low margin, high volume, then you got to go wide. You have no choice. Depends on what your model is.
Yeah, you're right. It depends whether you're one to many or one to few.
Correct.
But really, the one to few is where businesses explode.
That's where the margins are.
Yeah. Well, actually, I heard a really good saying the other day, and I can't remember who said it. It might have been Hormozy. He was basically, it was. And he was saying you're either selling the cheapest product at the biggest volume or the most expensive at the lowest volume.
Correct.
Being caught in the middle is where you die.
That's correct.
And it's so true. I've seen it so many times. I've done it myself, where you're like, we need to charge more than the bottom, but we can't charge the top. And then you're just in limbo.
You got to be in the quadrant where you're low volume, high margin.
Yeah.
Premium provider is premium profits for you. And you can help them as well with your profits. And
the truth is, you know, the more profitable a business is, the more impact you can have in general on your employees' lives, on your
more
business.
in your client, in yourself. Your goal is to make higher profits in your business. That's your goal, not lower profits. So the more you make, the more you can give back to the business, invest in yourself, and get smarter to build more value for the company.
Yeah, I guess a lot of service-based especially, but probably e-commerce as well, the battle you've got is the fact that a lot more people are willing to go cheaper,
of course,
than are willing to go more expensive. So it's that, how do I
race to the bottom?
Yeah, how do I not join that race? How do I be the more expensive? Maybe the answer is don't fish in the same pond as the people that are being the cheapest.
There you go. Yeah. Exactly. Go to the pond where nobody else is, which is these narrow channels we're talking about in the niches. Like associations of businesses, like business groups, like different groups that contain your ideal clients. I got a client of mine who's going after plumbers. I said, go to the plumbing association, contact them, you show them your book and say, can I offer my book as a free gift to your members? They go, sure. A free gift to educate my members? Come on in.
It's like when you go to an exhibition and you get the bag of free stuff. Everyone takes it.
Right, exactly. Why would you not?
Yeah.
And you're being endorsed by the channel. Yeah. They're endorsing you by letting them provide their book to members.
Yeah, it's like a trust transfer, right? Because
Correct.
You're thinking, well, they wouldn't have bought this guy in if they didn't trust
Correct.
him. Yeah.
They're the gatekeepers. They got to trust you, let you.
There's only so many books in that bag,
Correct,
so
yes.
becoming one of them has a trust attached to it.
Correct.
Yeah. But you tell me, I'm assuming it's not as easy maybe as just going to them and talking to them because there's a few people trying to do it.
You got to show them the physical book and mail it to them first.
So as you're selling them first.
Yes, this is the same process.
Yeah, build the trust.
Mail the book first with a letter saying, hi, I've written a book for your members. I'm going to take a look at it, get your feedback on it, see what you think about it. It would be helpful for them. Then you have a meeting with them, say, what do you thought? What's your feedback? Oh, yeah, I like your book's really good. Great. What opportunities do you have to help me market the book as a free gift to your members? Can I give it away? Your email blast, a newsletter, an advertise? Do you have any webinars available? What channels do you have for me to educate your members on this content? And they open up the doors for you. And if you have a budget, even better. You pay them to do it. They'll take your money all day long. They're nonprofits. They want to be paid for that channel. So they'll do it. Only if you're a match, though, for the group. And the book says you're a match. The top
you got to approach the right group, right? You're like any customer avatar, you're identifying who your right match is first.
Correct. That's the most important part. Who is your ideal client? And then can you niche down to an industry? Even better. The more narrow you get, the easier it is. The wider you get, the harder it is. Because everyone else is doing it.
So I'm sure it's happened. So walk me through a time this hasn't worked. And I'm going to assume answer one will be somebody who didn't dedicate the right time and effort to it, because that's the same with everything.
Yeah. Right.
But what's number two? Is there times where you've gone, there are certain types of customers that just this won't work for?
Yes, some clients have difficulty choosing a niche. I've been a financial advisor for years. I help retirees. But what niche are you in? Retirees. Well, we got to narrow it down. How about classic car owners who are retirees? Oh, how about yacht owners? How about golfers? That's a new idea for them. And they go, well, I don't know which one to pick. Which one should I pick, Ari? I said, here's the secret to that. Just pick one.
Start with one,
test. We test and measure. Yeah. Market the book and change the cover by niche. Same content, same problem, change the cover. Or we just test, A/B test between each one and see which one grabs people to come forward. That's how you do any marketing. You A/B test every ad you do.
The biggest struggle, everyone I know who's ever made the comment that paid marketing hasn't worked for them, the commonality always is haven't given it enough time and enough money down the toilet before it takes off.
Yeah.
Because it's the going down the toilet that scares you. Our first big campaign was about 60 or 70 grand down the toilet. And we were getting told, you just need to go a bit further. But that was the point where we had no more to give. So that was the decision for us. But I think there really is you've got to go, what's 12 months of this going to cost me?
You can test quickly. It could be one email blast enough to test the one group.
Yeah, okay.
It's like $1,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
If you get one email blast goes out, you get 20 book orders, 20 meetings. That's like 100 headaches return, You don't need a lot of volume to win the game. Just need the right pawns that match to one to have them order it.
We did our first newsletter email the other day. I've never done a newsletter before, right? We had about 1,300 people in our pipeline that I went to. And the open rate was like 72%. And the click-through rate was 45%.
That's insane.
And we sat there and looked at it and went, crap. And everyone was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, this means we have to do it every month now. Like we can't not, but so we're like 4 or 5 months in now and the rates have stayed really high, but the call to actions are terrible. I'm making up the newsletter as we go, so we'll get better at it.
Yeah, sure.
But you're right. We just started. We went, I don't know how to make a newsletter.
The open rate's amazing.
We got a template. We filled it out. Most of the people know us, and but the open rates are great. And we're like, if the open rate's that good, imagine if it was good conversion.
I know. That's a good start. That's rare.
Because the click-through was, I think, to a free consult or something, but sure. They're the A/B testing we didn't do. That
I see.
You really need to optimize.
Correct. You got to optimize each step of the process.
It could be a word. It could be a title.
Correct.
The first image. Yes. There's so much, right?
It's a story they got to pull right down the storyline. Yeah.
You're right. It's telling a story. It's that one. It's like a one-page funnel type.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah. They got to connect. They got to get enrolled in it. They got to be engaged.
Yeah, funnels are interesting because it's still probably the best way to run a website. Really, is the days of we're 30 years in business and here's our services, like the old school kind of website's gone. Yeah, like a brochure. Yeah. funnels are crazy. Like the psychology behind
I know.
how you can walk someone through things and click through upsells, and like I know when it's being done to me and I like it. But it's like, it's a real
You're a
process.
hyper buyer.
Yeah. But if you nail that, it's so powerful. You can, because you can't catch someone's attention always with an expensive offer. But to start them out small and
low threshold offer first.
Yeah.
Either raise the threshold every step of the way.
Do you do that with the books? Do you advertise a fund?
Yeah. So our model is free book offer, a physical book, but the innovation is we attach a free consultation to the book transaction. So when they order the book, it says order your free book in consultation. Not get lead, call them back. So when they click the button to order, they go to a calendar and they schedule at the same time they order.
Mm-hmm.
All in one.
So
no
what's
follow-up.
What's the turn-up rate?
No, the 80% show up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because they want to, because it's already pre-framed as the expert and doctor. They want to talk about their problem because the book's about the problems.
Mm.
So we do have a human person do call them, though. The day they opt in, they do call and welcome them. The human touch still involved with this. We have a human being call and say, thanks for ordering Ari's book. And what are your thoughts about it? Looking forward to hearing from you. Having a chat with John next week. That human touch is important.
Mm. Yeah, actually, I signed up to a similar thing recently that was to a consult. And the consult, before you had a video attached you had to watch. Mm. And then they rang you the day before and said, have you watched the video?
Oh,
and the video, I did watch it eventually, but the video was basically to address all the first 20 questions everyone has that are all the same, like they've taken out if we're doing a half an hour consult, the first 15 minutes is always wasted by these 10 things.
Probably objections.
Yeah. So they made a video on that. So you were pre-educated on, let's not waste our time on that. Right. And we get to the juicy stuff.
Fair enough.
And I thought it was an interesting way of doing it because sometimes you can, when you're the one delivering those consults, you do find yourself being repetitive sometimes. Yeah. And it's like, how can we filter those out a bit?
Of course. That's qualifying, basically.
Yeah. There's so many ways to do it. But what you said before is right. Just start with one.
And also on your form, you can have a drop down that says, what is your business turnover? So you actually know how big the company is. Mm. And also we've added a field which says, what is your biggest sales challenge? And they type in their problem in advance of the first meeting so we know what their problem is before their first call.
Is it 99% need more leads? Or?
Chasing clients, can't get a hold of this person. What do I do now? Looking to grow. Yeah. We know in advance what the problem is. We're showing up and going, what's your problem? Yeah. So it's nice to have that.
It's funny because it's like cold calling. If you've ever done cold calling training, the whole point of it really is to make you realize everything that anyone can possibly say back is only like one of 10 things.
That's true.
But it's not until you've heard it 1,000 times each that you realize I can actually have this conversation with only half my brain listening because it's all the same questions.
Correct.
But you've got to get through those, right? Because that's the beginning of people sussing out whether you know the right answers or not.
Right.
And so you kind of need to show them that. But I've noticed social media views become a bit bigger as well on your Instagram and things like that.
Yeah. It's starting to grow now.
Yeah.
We have a whole team on the social side. It's curating and really matching everything out to the market. So a lot of feedback coming in.
Because the question is, I guess, when the book turns up, someone reads it and goes, wow, that's unreal. In between the time from doing that and a call, they're probably going to go follow you somewhere. Yes. So if those channels aren't up to the level that you want the appearance to be.
Well, in the package, we also have our inserts for our podcast like yours. Mm-hmm. Stump the Guru. Mm-hmm. We have a new one called How to Live a Trust-Based Life. So we have inserts in the package that connects them to different channels. Mm-hmm. They always jump on and listen before that first call.
Mm. Yeah, you're just giving them more ways, I guess, to qualify for themselves.
Correct, exactly. Yeah.
Has anyone stumped the guru?
No, not yet. 25 years.
I'm going to go talk to ChatGPT.
I've heard the 10 questions already 100 times.
I'll talk to AriAI.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he'll stump me.
And I'll say, I really want to stump you.
Yes, he'll stump me, yeah.
Because you're right, there is just so many, there's only so many problems.
It's blocked,
yeah. But when you haven't heard them so much that you realize there's only so many problems.
Correct.
You convince yourself, especially in a struggling business, you start to convince yourself the mind's an incredible thing.
My problem's unique.
Yeah, it's just me, or it's because I haven't got this, or I'm missing that, or it's not my fault. And,
correct.
And sometimes that's what a coach is best for, right? Is to say, hang on, mate, this is not unique.
Correct.
The only unique thing is going to be whether you decide to be someone who solves it or someone who continues complaining about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unreal. Mate, thank you so much for coming in today.
It's great. It's fun.
And I'm really looking forward to, I want to try AriAI, and then I'm going to jump on Stump the Guru.
I love it. That sounds good, yeah.
Yeah, but if it works, you shouldn't be mad about it anyway.
Exactly.
It was just you stumping you.
Correct, exactly.
Oh, thanks so much, mate.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Take care.